Log entry 47. Date unknown. The chill in the air, however, suggests late autumn. Another village, another plea for help. They call me a scholar, a protector, a madman. Perhaps all three. But the truth is, I am merely an archivist, documenting the things that slither, skulk, and stalk when the lights go out. The things grown-ups won't admit are real. My latest acquisition, a tattered, ink-stained volume. The Monster Manual, it proclaims. The ultimate guide to werewolves, goblins, and other wicked creatures. A bold claim, yet its pages whisper of forbidden knowledge, compiled by hands long vanished. Hands like mine, perhaps, destined to fade into the shadows they chase.
Log entry. Personal. It's been weeks since I found these old recordings in the abandoned library wing. The archivist, he calls himself. His voice. It's captivating and terrifying. He speaks of monsters as if they're real, as if he's met them. Everyone says the old wing is haunted, but I think it's just forgotten. Until now. What was that? Just the wind. It has to be. He mentions werewolves. Classic transformation lore, he wrote in the margins of his notes. Survival tips. Avoid direct moonlight. Carry wolfsbane. And never, ever trust a stranger with unusually bright eyes on a full moon. Chilling.
The village of Oakhaven. A full moon, obscured by storm clouds, yet its influence was undeniable. The fear was palpable, thick as the mud beneath my boots. They spoke of a beast, a man-wolf, preying on their livestock, their children.
It took little Thomas. Just last night. We heard the screams, the tearing. It's the curse, I tell you. Old man Hemlock, he always had a strange glint in his eye, and now... Superstition will not save you. Preparedness might. Did you see it? Describe it. A shadow. Huge, with teeth like daggers and eyes that glowed red. Too close. Get inside. Barricade your doors. I'll draw its attention. The Monster Manual describes the werewolf's senses as heightened, its strength immense. A direct confrontation is folly. One must outwit, not overpower. It's faster than any man, but predictable in its rage. Wolfsbane, not a cure, but a deterrent. Its scent disorients them, gives you an edge. It's gone. For now. They always return. But Oakhaven is safe tonight.
Thoughtful, slightly shaken, but deeply curious. He talks about goblins next. Expansive compendium, he noted. Mischievous and dangerous. Their strength lies in numbers, their cunning in their ability to exploit human greed and fear.
Goblins, often dismissed as mere nuisances. A grave error. They are scavengers, yes, but intelligent ones. They infest forgotten places, abandoned mines, the dark corners of our world. Their social structure is primitive, yet effective. A single goblin is a pest, a horde, a plague. I once tracked a particularly troublesome clan through the Whispering Caves. They had been stealing tools, trinkets, even small livestock from a nearby farming community. Not for sustenance, but for sport. To sow discord. To watch the humans squabble amongst themselves, blaming each other for the disappearances. Their weakness? Light and order. They thrive in chaos and shadow. A well-placed torch, a coordinated effort can scatter them. But they remember. They always remember.
The basilisk. The monster manual warns. Deadly gaze. Ancient origins. Avoid direct eye contact at all costs. Reflection is your only shield. I had heard rumors of petrified livestock, of men turned to stone in the arid canyons of the sunken lands. Foolish I thought to seek such a creature. It moved with a terrifying grace, its scales shimmering even in the dim light of my lantern. Its eyes, even veiled, I could feel their power. The air grew cold, heavy. It struck, not with its gaze, but its tail. A crushing blow. My shield, polished to a mirror sheen. My only hope. It saw its own reflection. The monster manual was right. The creature recoiled, its own power turned against it. But it was not defeated, only confused, enraged. The creature retreated into the depths. The cavern, unstable. I barely escaped. A victory of sorts. But the cost. The air, thick with dust. And something else. Lingering cold.
Shaken, but fascinated.
The Hinky Punk, a creature of pure deception. The monster manual describes it as a one-legged, smoke-like being that carries a lantern. It lures travelers into bogs and marshes, its light a beacon of false hope in the gloom. It doesn't kill with claws or teeth, but with the slow, suffocating embrace of the mire. I was tracking a missing child in the Blackwater Fens. The fog was so thick I could barely see my own hand. And then I saw it, a soft blue glow bobbing in the distance. My heart leaped. A light, a sign of life. Wait, stop. Remember the manual. The Hinky Punk's light is never steady. It flickers with a rhythmic pulse like a dying heartbeat. I stopped. I watched. The light. It was pulsing. And it was moving away from the path, deeper into the dark. It knew I had seen it. It was trying to lead me to the deep sump. I turned away, focused on the compass I had secured to my wrist. The light followed me for a while, a persistent, ghostly presence just at the edge of my vision. But I didn't look back, not once.
He's so disciplined. I would have followed the light. I know I would. There's a section here on brewing a witch's potion. He's written all over it. Ingredients: eye of newt, toe of frog. Metaphorical, of course. The true power lies in the intent, in the focus. Witches don't just use herbs, they use the energy of the earth itself. And it's not always benevolent. Witches.
They are not the cackling hags of nursery rhymes. They are practitioners of an ancient, often misunderstood craft. The Monster Manual warns, respect the boundary. Do not intrude on their sacred spaces. Their magic is tied to the land, and the land remembers every slight. I once met a woman in the deep woods of the Iron Mountains. They called her the Bone Witch. She lived in a hut made of woven willow and bleached skulls. I sought her for knowledge of a particularly nasty curse that had befallen a neighboring town.
You come with questions, Archivist. But do you have the courage to hear the answers?
I seek the truth, no matter the cost.
The truth is a double-edged sword. It can set you free, or it can bury you. The curse you seek to break, it wasn't cast by a monster. It was cast by a man whose greed outweighed his soul.
She showed me a vision in the steam, not of monsters, but of ourselves, of the darkness we carry within. The monster manual is a guide to the creatures out there, but the Bone Witch reminded me, sometimes the most dangerous monsters are the ones we see in the mirror.
That's heavy, even for him. He's added a section on vampires now. The aristocrats of the night, he calls them. Charismatic, ancient, and utterly ruthless. They don't just feed on blood, they feed on life, on hope, on the very essence of what it means to be human.
Vampires. The monster manual is quite clear. Avoid the gaze, guard your throat, and never, ever invite them across your threshold. Once invited, they are impossible to remove. I once visited the estate of a reclusive nobleman in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains, a man of immense wealth and even greater mystery. I should have known. I should have seen the signs, but my curiosity, as always, was my undoing.
Welcome, Archivist. I have been expecting you. Your reputation precedes you. A collector of stories, are you not?
I collect facts, truths, and the truth is, you are a predator.
Aren't we all? In our own way. You hunt with your pen and your recorder. I hunt with my instincts. But tell me, Archivist, what happens when the hunter becomes the hunted? When the stories you collect start to collect you?
He was fast. Too fast. I had prepared, of course, a silver cross, a vial of holy water, but he laughed at them. Symbols only have power if you believe in them, he whispered. I didn't believe in the symbols. I believed in the knowledge. Magnesium flare. Not holy, but bright. Blindingly bright. It gave me the seconds I needed to escape. But I felt his eyes on me as I ran. I still feel them. Even now. The Manticore. A fusion of nightmares. The monster manual describes it as having the body of a lion, the wings of a dragon, and a tail tipped with poisonous spikes. But its most unsettling feature is its face, almost human, with 3 rows of shark-like teeth. It doesn't just kill for food. It kills for the sheer bloody pleasure of it. I encountered one in the high deserts of Aridonia. It had been terrorizing a trade route, picking off travelers with terrifying efficiency. It didn't pounce immediately. It watched. It waited. And then it spoke. Not in words, but in a series of rhythmic, melodic whistles that somehow conveyed a challenge. It's testing me. The Manticore is highly intelligent, the manual says. It enjoys psychological games before the final strike. I didn't play. I kept my distance, my crossbow loaded with iron bolts. I knew its tail was the real threat. It can fire those spikes like arrows. Wood splintering. It missed, but only just. I retreated behind a rock formation, the spikes embedding themselves in the stone with enough force to shatter it. I didn't stay to fight. The Manticore is a battle of attrition, and I was outmatched. I left the plateau, the creature's mocking whistles following me for miles.
A talking monster, or at least one that communicates. That's different. There's a section here on the Kelpie, the water horse of the Highlands. It sounds beautiful, but the Archivist has underlined the warning in red. Do not touch. Do not mount. Its skin is adhesive, and once you are on its back, it will drag you to the depths.
The Kelpie, a master of transformation. It often appears as a stunning white horse by the water's edge, or sometimes as a handsome stranger. but its true form is something far more aquatic, far more hungry. I saw one once, in the mists of Loch Morar. It was grazing peacefully, its coat shimmering like moonlight on the water. A group of local children were approaching it, drawn by its beauty. I shouted, I waved my arms, I did everything I could to scare them away. The creature saw me. It knew I had ruined its hunt. It didn't attack. It simply dissolved. It walked into the water and vanished, leaving only a trail of black slime on the shore. The children were safe, but they looked at me as if I was the monster. They didn't understand. They couldn't see the teeth behind the beauty.
He saved them, even if they didn't know it. He's included a quiz here. Test your knowledge. He's recorded himself answering it.
Question 1. What is the only way to kill a vampire permanently? Answer: a wooden stake through the heart, followed by decapitation and burial at a crossroads. But the monster manual suggests a simpler method. Don't let them in. Question 2. How can you tell a goblin from a harmless woodland creature? Answer: look at the eyes. Goblins have a yellow, sickly glow, and they never blink. And if you smell rotten eggs and old copper, run. Question 3. What is the most dangerous creature in the manual? Long pause. Answer: the one you haven't seen yet. The one that's watching you right now, while you're listening to this recording.
He's getting more and more personal. The lines between his research and his life are blurring. There's one last major entry. The Yeti. The frozen silence. He's written this one in a different ink, a darker one. The Yeti. High peaks. Eternal snow. The monster manual says they are solitary, that they avoid humans. But I found something else. I found a city of ice and bone, hidden in the clouds. It's so cold. My breath freezes before it leaves my lips. I saw them. Not just one, but dozens. They weren't just monsters. They were a civilization. Ancient. Patient. Watching the world below with a profound, icy indifference. They know I'm here. They've always known. They are the guardians of the forbidden knowledge. The true authors of the monster manual. We are just the transcribers. The ones they allow to see. So that we may warn the others. Or perhaps so that we may be their next meal. That's it. That's the end of the tapes. I've spent the last 3 days transcribing everything. I've compiled it all into a new volume. I'm calling it The Archivist's Legacy. It's everything he found, everything he feared. What was that? It's just the wind. I have to go now. I have to find where he went. The library, it's not enough anymore. I need to see for myself. I need to know if the monster manual is right. If anyone finds this, keep the records. Don't let the stories die. Because if we forget the monsters, they've already won. The hunt continues.
The cold. It's not natural. There are things beyond its pages. Things that hunt the hunters. Oh. Ooh.